Yeah, simply ball dropping. What's up, family? K-Sap, we up! Ain't no stopping. I'm simply ball dropping like it's New Year's Eve, making you haters believe I'm the MVP. Ask Mr. V and R&B, they do all sports, whether it's on the field or the court, from the arena to the ring. What? You wanna swing? I rope a dope like the one on this boxing thing. That's a punchline. I'm the greatest of all times. Got something on your mind? Hit us up on the line for that round table talk. Ask B Hunt and Sheena and K-Sap too for their views on our dudes. Marriage Chronicles for you lovers. Oh, I'm married to the game. The championships, the only time I wanna ring. K-Sap, the man behind the mic. Check 1, 2. It ain't a rap until I say it's a rap. Just fall through, pull up the hottest pod smoking. Yeah, I got you open. This freestyle brought to you by James Ford. Paid promotion. Yeah, simply ball dropping. You know what time it is. Pull up, chop it up with your family, man. K-Sap, what up?
And now, your host of the Simply Ball Droppin' Podcast, the man behind the mic, K-Sap.
This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Yo, what's good? Welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. And like I always say, we're not a one-trick pony. We cover sports. We cover hot topics. We bring you to the round table. Also, we cover relationships. We do the Marriage Chronicles. Appreciate everybody that's rocking with us. Appreciate everybody that's subscribed. All the new subscribers, I see you in the comments. # salute. If you're new to the channel, please like the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Today's episode, man, we got a lot to unpack. In today's episode, I was thinking deeply about this whole LeBron James situation and how they put LeBron up against Michael Jordan, who is so-called the GOAT of basketball. I have a different perspective on this whole situation. I would like to say that Michael Jordan is the downfall of LeBron James. Hear me out. Michael Jordan is the downfall of LeBron James. And the reason why I say that is LeBron James just became the all-time leader in points in the NBA. He now owns the scoring record that was previously held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for almost 40 years. And that's a monumental achievement right there in its own. And the reason why I say Michael Jordan is the downfall of LeBron James, this is the reason I say that. Last weekend, the Super Bowl was played. It was in Phoenix, Arizona, between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I was listening to the Odd Couple podcast with Rob Parker and Chris Bouchard. But Rob G was filling in for Chris Bouchard. And it was pretty interesting what they talked about. They basically pointed out some things about LeBron James, and they pointed out the incident that happened. Well, it wasn't an incident. They pointed out when he was at the Super Bowl and they showed him on the Jumbotron and they booed him. Here's what Rob Parker had to say. Listen up.
LeBron James might not be able to play basketball, but he ain't that hurt to be able to go sit in the suite and watch the Super Bowl. I'm not mad at him, Rob G. Not at all. There's only one problem.
Here it comes.
You saw the game. Did they show LeBron James?
Yes, they did.
On the Jumbotron or whatever they call it, right?
Absolutely.
And what happened?
He was booed to the high heavens, Rob Parker.
No doubt about it. And there's a couple of storylines here as we think about what happened and what transpired. There's no way he should have been booed,
Totally
Rob
agree
G.
with that. Totally
From
agree.
this standpoint, he had just a days earlier broken Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, right? The most points in NBA history. He wasn't at a city where they hated the Lakers. This was a neutral for the most part. You had Eagles fans, you had Chiefs fans, and then you had NFL fans, right? A lot of sponsors.
Bunch of suits.
And a lot of suits and people from all over the country that had no allegiance to anything.
Totally agree with that.
This was a chance for America, not just the people who were at the Crypto.com arena on that magical night, but for America to endorse and pay homage to LeBron James.
Totally agree.
How in the world could you not look at that moment and want to reward the guy with glory and applause?
Now, y'all heard what Rob Parker said. We didn't get into what Rob G said because he's a Laker fan, and he had his points, and they all was valid. But this is my position on that, and that's why I say Michael Jordan is the downfall of LeBron James. And the reason why I say that is, from what Rob Parker said, LeBron James is at the Super Bowl. He was shown on the Jumbotron. They booed him, and he put the so-called crown over his head. Now, any storyline that comes with LeBron James is going to make headline news. Everybody talked about it. And the reason why I say that Michael Jordan is the downfall of LeBron James, everybody at that Super Bowl was probably in their 40s, 50s, early 60s, late 60s, the masses of people. Yes, some young family members of the players there, but majority of these folks are late 40s, 50s, 60s, and things like that. Michael Jordan came into the NBA in 1984. So those folks that are out, the masses, they are accustomed to what they saw with Michael Jordan in 1984, living up to now. They was able to see Michael Jordan up close and in person via the TV or if they attended some games. And everybody has been known to say that Michael Jordan is the god of basketball. And everybody has crowned him the greatest of all times. That's the masses. Now you have the young folks now that are growing up that have to go back and watch YouTube clips of Michael Jordan to see what everybody's talking about, what all the hoopla is about. The young folks now, majority, are LeBron James fans. And what happens is when people mention Michael Jordan, he's the GOAT. But when you throw in LeBron James and you go to these barbershops and you having these GOAT discussions and these debates, it's always between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And that's why I said that's LeBron's downfall. Because you're putting somebody from the new school up against somebody from the old school. So that goes back to show you when that crowd would was at that game and they showed LeBron on the Jumbotron, they booed him because of what the media and the LeBron James fans do is every time a GOAT discussion comes up, it's always debatable between LeBron and Mike. And people that grown up that watch Mike, they already solidified and already sold that Mike is the greatest of all times. So when you start comparing another athlete to what Jordan did in all his accolades, the Jordan supporters don't go for that. So the masses that was at that game was people that grew up watching Michael Jordan play basketball. And they already been solidified that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all times. So now you look at the young school guys that are coming up that are putting LeBron ahead of Mike because that's their superstar in the era that they're watching basketball. They have to go back in YouTube clips of Michael Jordan. And the reason why every place that Michael Jordan goes, he gets respect and ovations is because he's known as the greatest of all times. People have that respect for him. But as far as LeBron getting booed, that's the reason, because people are solidified that Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the greatest of all times. And when people put LeBron's name up against Mike and these debates come, and you see the YouTube clips, you see the reels, you see the TikTok videos, oh, this is y'all's greatest of all times. They always making mockery of things that LeBron is doing on the court, La Flop, La Crybaby, and things like that, because Jordan is LeBron's downfall, because people are so solidified that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all times. But when you start comparing Jordan and LeBron, things that LeBron does gets tarnished, gets thrown out the window. And I will say this, when LeBron won the championship in the bubble, think about it. He said, now I want my damn respect. He don't get the respect that Michael Jordan gets as a basketball player when he goes to these certain places. A lot of people boo LeBron. You know, respect is earned, not given. And as long as Michael Jordan played the game of basketball and all his achievements, he's the greatest of all times in a lot of people's eyes. So when you start comparing them to, the Michael Jordan supporters come out in full force. They always have something to say about it. So it puts two great athletes against each other, and LeBron don't get the respect. Now go back to when Kobe had his farewell tour. Rest in peace, the Black Mamba. When he had his farewell tour, he was getting standing ovations in every city that he went. People showing a lot of respect. And the reason being is Kobe was never put up against Mike. Everybody looked at Kobe as the next Mike. Walk like him, talk like him, played like him. His mannerism is just like Kobe. I mean, just like Mike. So they didn't put them two against each other because they were so much of alike. They was 1 and 1A. So Kobe was getting the respect. Places that he went, farewell tours, standing ovations. Go back to the All-Star game in Cleveland when they had the 75 greatest players out there. And they introduced Mike. Mike's getting a standing ovation. And that's a city that Mike took the hearts out of Craig Elo in the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Brad Daugherty days. He snatched their soul. The Ron Harper days. He snatched their soul. And Mark Price, he snatched their soul. But he's still getting a standing ovation because in that era that he grew up, everybody was solidified that he was the greatest of all times. So now that LeBron has come in all these barbershops, people talk about, I got LeBron over Mike. They putting two great athletes against each other. So that's why LeBron don't get the respect that he deserves. People boo him. There's a lot of LeBron fans out there and a lot of LeBron supporters that give him his accolades. And when he became the all-time leading scorer, a lot of people looked at, okay, if Jordan was still in the league, if Jordan played 20 years, he would have been the all-time leading scorer. And that's another thing. How are you going to fault LeBron James for keeping his body in shape, in condition to play 20 years at a high level and compete the way that he does and gets these records? They said if he's around 20 years or 22 more or 2 more years, he's going to have all the records. You can't fault LeBron James for that. You can't discredit him for keeping himself up to par and playing that long. Jordan played 12 years. He stopped because in his first retirement, he said when he don't feel the sense of being challenged no more, he stepped away from the game when he didn't have the passion. So how are you going to fault LeBron for playing all these years and the records that he are breaking? People are downplaying that. It don't make sense. Make it make sense. And another thing, there's a lot of sports guys, a lot of media personnel that, like LeBron. Shannon Sharp, he goes to bat for LeBron James. Nick Wright goes to bat for him. Chris Bouchard. It's all kinds of guys that, like LeBron. So for this notion of him not getting no respect is because Jordan is his downfall. Michael Jordan makes it hard for LeBron James to get the respect and the credit that he deserves as a basketball player. So this notion of people booing him, rightfully so. They don't like nothing that LeBron James does, the so-called king, the chosen one, naming yourself King James, naming yourself the chosen one. And then when you get booed, you put the crown on your head. It's certain things that LeBron does that irritates a lot of people. But like LeBron James said, that stuff don't even bother him. He just continues to play basketball at a high level, and he continues to keep doing what he's doing. But like I said, Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the downfall of LeBron James. That's why LeBron James does not get the respect that he deserves throughout the world or in places that he goes to get a standing ovation, because you just broke the scoring record and you can't get a standing ovation at the Super Bowl. Look at the masses. The masses of people that were there grew up in the Michael Jordan era. And people across these barbershops and just regular talk, sports media, it's always the GOAT debate. It's always LeBron and Mike. LeBron and Mike. Just witness greatness across the board. That's why Kobe, when he did his farewell, he got standing ovations because he was the next thing like Mike. Point blank. You gotta respect and witness history as it's being made. There's a lot of LeBron James fans out there, but he just don't get the respect that he deserves on the things that he's doing in basketball like Mike got. Because Michael Jordan is the downfall of LeBron James. And shout out to one of my subscribers, I think it was Mitchell Williams. He commented on a podcast that I did about Skip Bayless talking about LeBron, padding his stats. And he commented and said, why do you think Mike don't get his respect? LeBron don't get his respect. So shout out to him. So that's why I'm doing this podcast. And that's the reason I think that he don't get his respect. So leave a comment in there. Let me know how you guys feel. And like I said, we're going to get up out of here. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm the host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.